We are, give me 2 minutes and I'll be on air. Hold on. Okay, we are on air already. Let's begin. Now we enter summer. We enter summer for goods. And you might say, it's been a while. Where is lady? Where is sister? Where is this woman of God? Of course I'm here. I'm here as you can see. It's only things were come I've been in stressful situation, you know. But God was here with me. The issues have not yet finished. But I pray, I'm also preparing for journey. Of course, I won't go away from you until I travel. Even when I travel, you'll be hearing from me, not the way you are hearing from me now, but you'll be hearing from me in the place I will be. Ooh, so okay, how's everything? How's everything? I promise from the bottom of my heart that I won't get lost like this. No. I wish I would never ever get lost. You know, one celebrity comes to stay, not comes to go sometime, to back up sometime. Don't mind my tired, my tired option. I'm tired. I started swimming, and sports is sweet but tiresome, of course. But it's so sweet. So let's begin. Let's begin. Today's topic is windows opened towards Jerusalem. So now the verses 1. His windows being open and his chamber towards Jerusalem. This is Daniel 6:10. Daniel, chapter 6, verse 10. You know, um, it's all about. Let's begin with the story of princess of Persia that was urged on political jealousy against Daniel. That one has succeeded in getting a law passed that whosoever prays to God shall be put under the paws and teeth of lions, who are lashing themselves in rage and hunger up and down at the stone cage, or putting the lower jaws on the ground, bellowing till the earth trembles. But the leonine threats did not hinder the devotion of Daniel. It's known as Le Cœur de Lion of the ages. Cœur de Lion means heart of lion. His enemy might as well have a law that the sun, you know, the sun should not dry water. All that the south wind could not sweep across the garden of Mongolians. Oh, that God should be abolished. They could not scare him, with their red hot furnaces, and they can now scare him with the lions. As soon as Daniel hears of the anyway, sorry, it escaped from my mind. That one day that leaves the office of the Secretary of State. So with his uh, this crimson gold that comes down while the marble steps, and that one that goes to his own house. He's opening his windows and put the shutters back and pulls the curtains aside so that they can look towards and scare the city of Jerusalem, and then he prays. Amen, somebody. I suppose the people, in the street gathered under and around the window and said, "Just see that man is defying the law. He ought to be arrested." So, And then that law of the city rushed the police the headquarters and report Daniel on his knees, to the wide open windows. "You are my prisoners," says the officers of the law, dropping heavy hand of the soldier and kneeling Daniel. Um, as they take constantly, constantly open the door and oh, excuse me, open the door, and the cavern of thrust of the prisoners is that they can see a glaring eyes of the monster. But Daniel becomes the first lion tamer, and they can lick his hands and fall at his feet. And that night he sleeps with the shaggy name of a white breast of his pillow, while the king, that night, sleepless in the palace, has on him the paw and the teeth of the lion that cannot tame, a lion of a remorseful conscience. Amen, somebody. Amen. So, what's what a picture it could be of some artist Darius, the early dusk of morning, not waiting for footman or chariot, stirring in the den, all flushed and nervous in the reliable sense, and uh, looking through the vibes of the cage to see what he has uh, what he has to become. You know that mentality of the prime minister. What no sound, he says. Daniel is surely devoured, and the lions are sleeping after the horrid meal, the bones of the poor scattered across the floor of the cavern. With a trembling voice, Darius called out, "Daniel!" No answer. No, no answer for the prophet. Is yet profound slumber. But the lion, more easily awakened, advances, and with a hot breath blows through the crevice, and seems angrily to demand the cause of interruption. And then another white beast lifts a mane from under Daniel's head, and the prophet, waking up, comes forth, report himself all unhurt and well. Amen, somebody. But a text, that one, stands us at Daniel's window open towards the Jerusalem. Why that the direction open? Jerusalem was his native land, and all a pomp of Babylonian success that could not make him forget. He came there from Jerusalem at 18 years of age, and he never visited through he lived to be 85 years. Yet, when he wanted to arouse the deepest emotion and the grandest aspiration of his heart, he had his windows open towards the native Jerusalem. There are many of you today that could understand that without uh, any exposition. This is getting to be a nation of foreigners. They have came into all occupation and profession. They sit to all in all churches. There may be 20 years ago that you got your naturalization papers, and you might be throughout Americanized, but you can't forget the land of your birth. This is your warmest sympathy goes out towards that. Your windows open towards Jerusalem. Your father and mother are buried there. You might have been a very humble home in which you were born, but your memory often plays around that, and you hope someday to go and see it. You know, go and see the hill, the tree, the brook, the house, the place so scared, the door that you started to started off with a prenatal blessing to make your own way in this world. And God only knows how sometime you have longed to see the familiar place of your childhood. And how in this awful crisis of your life that you would like to have a caught or a glimpse of the old, wrinkled face bent over as you lay on a gentle lap, you know, 20 or 40 or 50 years ago. You may have on his own sides, of the sea, risen a fortune, and unlike Daniel, that has become great and may have came into the properties which you could never have reached if your hand stays there, and you might have windows in your house, bay windows, skylight windows, and windows of conservatory, and windows of all sides. And but you have at least one windows open toward Jerusalem. Amen, somebody. So when the foreign steamer comes to the wharf, you see the long line of sailors sailors with their shouldered mailbags coming down the planks, carrying as many letters as you think that you suppose through, so you suppose that it would be enough for a year's correspondence, post letters. Oh, traditional way of communication, you know, and repeat again during the week. Multitudes of those are letters from home, and at all the post office of the land, people would go to the windows and anxiously ask for them. Hundreds of thousands of persons finding that window of foreign men's open window toward Jerusalem. Messages that say, "When are you coming to see us? Brother has gone into the army. Sister is dead. God forbid. Father and mother getting very feeble. You know, we are having a great struggle to get out of there. You know, would advise us to come to you, or you would like to come to us, or join in love and hope to meet you. If nothing is worked, in a bitter to say goodbye. Yes, yes, in all the city and amid the flower of western prairies, of the slopes of the Pacific, and amid sierras and the bank and lagoons, and the ranches of Texas, this is uncounted multitude that in this hour stand sits and kneels, with his windows open toward Jerusalem. Some of them played of their heater in a Scottish hill. Some of them even driving out of Irish famine. Excuse me, famine. Famine means hunger. Some of them in early life drilled in German army. Some of them were accustomed to Lyons or Marseille or Paris, excuse me, slip of tongue, point of correction. Lyons, not Lyons, Lyons, at Lyons or Marseille or Paris. Those ones, those ones are cities in France. Paris, see the light of Victor Hugo and Gambetta. I've been in Paris and I saw all those things. See Eiffel Tower, Tour Eiffel, Tower of Eiffel. Some chase among the Alpine precipices. Some plucked the ripe clusters from the Italian vineyards. Some lifted their faces under the midnight sun of Norway and Sweden. I've never seen that one. Yes, and let me tell you, some of those they have climbed the hill, you know, and the monument of Parthenon here right next to me, Athens. Or some of them they have now they're climbing, they enter, come up and see the view of White Tower in a beautiful Thessaloniki. You know, there are values, there are great values of my own birthplace here. So anyway, so no wonder that the son of the Swiss went so far from home, hearing the national air of a country song, the melody of homesickness coming of so powerful of the cause of the dead. You have the example of the heroic Daniel of that test for keeping each memory fresh. Forget that all folks at home, written often written, and if you have surplus the mean of that they are poor, make practical contribution and rejoice that America is bound at all that it would tie, as there is no other nation. Who can doubt? Who can doubt but disappointed, for the evangelization in the other hand? What is steering, melting, gospelizing, theory that all the doors of the nation can open towards us while our windows are open towards them. Amen, somebody. Hold on, I'm here, people of God, I'm here. Hmm. So, it won't take long before I say good night to you. Just a very few things, and then I'll say good night to you because I'm tired. So, okay, just few things I'm going to tell you. But Daniel, in that test, kept his porthole of a domestic fortress closed because Jerusalem was a capital scared influence. They had smoked a sacrifice, but there was a holy of the holies. There was the of covenant. That's to the temple. We have all we have all tempted to keep our windows open on the opposite side, towards the word, that we may have see, hear, and appropriate its advantages. What does the word says? What does the word think? What does the word do? Worshippers of the words instead of worshippers of gods. Windows are open towards Babylon. Windows open towards Corinth. Windows open towards where else? Here, my town, Athens. Windows open towards Sodom, Sodoma and Gomorrah. Windows open towards flats instead of windows open towards a hill. Sad mistake of the word as God is something like I saw the other day in the museum of Strasbourg. Strasbourg. I've never been there. I've never been there. Germany, the figure of a virgin that in wood and iron, like victim in other time, was brought there. And this figure would open its arms and receive him. Once it enfolded the figure that closed with a hundred knives and lights upon him, and let them drop, 180 feet sheer down. So the world first embraced its idolaters, then closed upon many, many tortures, and you know, let them let them drop forever down. The highest honor the world could confer that was there to make a man Roman emperor. But out of 63 emperors, It allows only seeds to die peacefully in the beds. Amen, somebody. So, people, do you mind that here we close? So, I will pray to God next time with you to have more strength. Because I might be active somebody, but I'm human being. So, thank you for being with me. Remain charged, remain blessed, and be blessed. Blessings to you.